regarding the idea of philosophy and how it appears in Judaism, there are certain, at least Hasidic masters, that actually forbid to learn philosophy. Rabbi Nachman of Breslov was very against it. But what's the idea of philosophy? And what's the problem, quote unquote, in Judaism? The Rambam talks a lot about philosophy. But the idea is like this. Philosophy is what the philosopher thinks. He, she, it doesn't make a difference. And in his mind, her mind might make sense, might even be a moral code of conduct or whatever, according to what the person thinks. But it's information, so to speak, within the world. Judaism is not information from the world. It comes from outside the world. Judaism is based, in this sense, what's moral, what's ethics, what's right, what's wrong. It's not based on what we understand, what we think it's right or wrong. It's based on what God says is right or wrong. Whether we like it or not, it's a different problem. Like everybody has to work with himself to like it or not, whatever. That's a different issue. But philosophy, the difference between philosophy and Judaism is Judaism comes from outside the world. Philosophy comes from the world itself. And of course, from a Jewish perspective, whatever comes from God is right. Again, whether you like it or not, it's a different issue, but it's right because it comes from Him. And from whatever comes from us, I'm not saying everything is wrong. No. But whatever comes from us, you're actually stepping into a dangerous place. Could be right, could be wrong. And you could definitely make mistakes and end up thinking completely different. Like if one philosopher is going to prove you, intellectually speaking, God doesn't exist, and another philosopher is going to prove you, intellectually speaking, that God is going to exist. God exists. So which one is right and which one is wrong? Actually, both are right. Maybe at some point of the derivative of how he got this conclusion, maybe at some point you can say, you see, here you made a mistake. In this proof, in this place, in that. But it's so subtle that a person that is not really, really prepared to have the ideas so clear in your mind, this philosopher thinks like this one thinks like that. This, like when you hear people that really learn philosophy and really learn and know about it, they can tell you, this guy thinks this way, the other guy thinks this way, and they have it so clear in their mind, they don't get confused with it. But regular people, it's so easy to get confused that's why, maybe, I'm not a Breslover, but that's why Rabbi Nachman of Breslov says, don't learn philosophy, you're going to get confused. You're going to get confused. It's not information that comes from God, comes from us. Maybe right, maybe wrong, better not get confused.